Hello everyone, my name is FlareBlitzed and welcome back to this supernatural horror visual novel of Novena Diabolos. I'm thinking the lake is going to be our next stop. A very big lake, the buildings around it tell the story of a once prosperous past, but past is past. Past. And the present is, well, rather still. Abandoned warehouse. Let's just do this in order. Abandoned warehouse, go there. I go to the abandoned warehouse by the lake. Let's see what we have here. I arrive at the abandoned warehouse near the lake. I look around, inhaling the humid air. There's nothing left here that would justify the term warehouse. It's bare but not where. Still, there are some signs that that point to people having been here quite recently. Alright then. Time to take a look around. Lovely dovely, and we're going to go through the eyes first when we can see them. Boat. I look inside the ship. There's a book that seems out of place. I lean over and pull out the book. And it is... I wonder who this is for. It's an old and mysterious book. Succubus Summoning Diaries Volume 1. It's a story of a nobleman who tried to summon a succubus. If this nobleman actually succeeded, his research could contain a vast amount of helpful info. I put the book in my bag. These findings will help me greatly. I've just had tea, and there's still some remnants of food stuck in my mouth, so I do apologise if you see that. Door. Also, I've injured my typing finger today, which is not cool. This is the door I came in through. I was putting up a clothes rack, and there's a sharp bit of metal in one of the legs that you support the clothes rack with, and it literally cut into my hand. I was trying to unravel it from its packaging. Not cool. This is the door I came in through. It makes an annoying creaky sound, perhaps because of the wind. I should look elsewhere. Well, as long as we excavated it, it's okay. I spot a wooden box. The box is full of trash. Did someone use it as a trash can? Yuck. I don't like this at all, but I still have to search through this. Thick and thin, I reach out and rummage through the trash. And inside it is just as its name, trash, but also this magazine. There's a magazine in perfect condition among the trash. Very suspicious. If everything else is trash and this is in perfect condition, then that's rather skeptical. Monthly Maxime. Looks like an interesting occult magazine. Maybe there's some info in there. I rub the magazine against the wall to get rid of some smelly bits of trash and put it in my bag. I'll read it later. Alright, should I keep looking around? Absolutely. Let's see what we have. And those are just the eyes. There's a file cabinet in the corner. Did they even actually use that? I mutter to myself as I open the cabinets one by one. And, monster in the world, witch. Okay, I like that. A small book falls out of a cabinet. It seems to be an interesting book about witches. I should take it with me. Should I keep looking around? Absolutely. More books. Let's see if any of these are something which we could use for the future. This is evidence that someone has been here recently. Exactly. And go through the books one by one to see if anything stands out. And, Succubus Summonings? Yes, so this is a good place if you want to find out more about the succubus in this tale. Story of a nobleman who tried to summon a succubus. The nobleman actually succeeded. His research contained a vast amount of helpful info. Put the book back in my bag. Findings will help me greatly. Exactly, we should keep doing that. Right, I reach out towards the long steel case. Another one. It won't open. Doesn't look like it's locked though. I think I've got this. Seems like the lid is caught on something. Judging from the condition, it should open with some effort and strength. The strength is with the effort. I crack my knuckles and prepare. I'm not a fan of physical exertion, but oh well. Whew, okay, if I just do it like this, I want to myself, I put my fingers in the small gap. I proceed to lift the lid as hard as I can. Oh, okay. 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 Always gets very bad as we get near the top. It doesn't want us to succeed, but there we go. The rusty hinges rattle and break. Covered in sweat, I open the box. And we have... Nothing about any particular monsters per se. But then again, there's that. This one's titled Tracking the Witch. Even though I've heard of it, another one without any kind of description as to like what volume it is at first glance. Or maybe I just keep missing out on it. Impeachment of former president, 7 volumes, banned after the first one. The 5th volume, okay, cannot be contained through normal legal channels. Important evidence, so we've got 2 things so far about the witch, which is really nice. Really nice. Open the paper box. Also, some places will have more monster info and village logs than other places. There's a pile consisting of a few books. Most of them look relevant to me. Is there anything useful here? Let's see. I keep looking through the books some more. Another one about the witch. That's the 3rd one. This is a great place for the witch. Seems to be about witches. And Succubus as well. Maybe I should read it when I have the time. Put the small book in my bag. Okay. Oh, there's everything. Or maybe you only have a limited slot of... or a limited number of places you can actually look. That's all for now. Village records updated. Lovely. I took too long I should go before the villagers find out. Like, there were more things to the left there which we could have found out. So, prioritization then, because each action takes a certain number of time. Oh, we can... maybe not. Like, we've already gone there, and the game is denying you. Abandoned house south, abandoned house north. No, we're going to go to the waste dump this time. I'm going to break the mold. I go to the waste dump near the lake. Let's see now. This was formerly a place to catch fish, I presume, but only remnants of it remain now. I see some things that were most likely left behind by the villagers. Maybe there's useful evidence among it. I decided to grill as one does. Fridge! I open the refrigerator. It's empty inside. Lovely. I close the fridge and step back. Look at the bolt. It's almost taunting me, stranded here just like me. I know there's no easy way out of here. We're just going to follow along until the cycle is complete. Now's not the time for thoughts like that. I sigh and turn around. Let's see. Anything on this fence? Nope. Window? Nope. So, everything I presume is predominantly, yeah, it's within this corner of the screen. I take a close look at the wooden box. There's a bunch of miscellaneous stuff inside. I search around, and what have we got here? I pulled out a book that stands out from the other stuff. This one's about the undead, I imagine, because it's all green. And obviously, Rin has those green eyes. And the green glowing eyes. Undead Survey Diaries Volume 1. So it's copy and paste with when it comes to these kind of things. The only thing that's different is the volume number. But getting all of them is very important. Alright, put it back in my bag. Maybe I should just skim through this if we just know what it is. Mass of paper, something good will come out of it. Hand stops moving, removes you through the pile. Actual book and good condition among what is other trash. More about the undead. Yeah. Excellent. Monster in the World, Jane Shy Volume 2. It's Roman numerals after all. Barrels. Box. Open up the paper box. Great. I love it when the paper box is empty. More paper box. Satanism. Lovely dovely. Fanatics adhere to decide to keep the magazine. And the barrel. Push the big drum. But it won't budge. Just a regular old drum. Just a barrel that doesn't have anything in it. What's this? Oh, there's something there, so to pick it up. More Maxim, and a good place if you want to research about the undead case here. So there's something else here. Something about this bothers me. Just what the hell is it? I look at the mysterious object from up close. I can finally see it more clearly. It's a paper box. Why is it so dirty? I open up the solid box using a relatively clean piece of paper nearby, which is also among the trash. Ah, Fox Spirit? Hell yeah. Volume 6. Story of a hunter who... Okay, so there must be only 6 entries per monster, because obviously there are 6, like, clues in order to identify the culprit of each murder case. More than just a regular fantasy story. So I keep looking over stuff which I've already read. Ah, the top part. I forgot about that. Nothing there either. Step away. Oh wait, should I keep looking around? I think that's it. I couldn't find anything else. That's all for now. Yep. Excellent. We're one step closer towards find out the mystery of all this. Go before the villagers find out. Yeah, I think that's the best course of action. Take a look at what I gathered so far on my phone. 5 pieces of monster information as well as 6 village logs. I should take the time to read through this. Exactly. We should do that. Absolutely. But is this... No, it's not encounter time. It is evening, though. Lean against the wall to take a small break. Cannot afford to take a long break at all. As soon as I've recovered a little, it's time to keep moving. The sun is already setting. I have to make the most of it before it goes completely dark. It's crystal clear what I have to do. Establish trust with the one that I think is most likely to be the real human. Time to go. Stand out. Time to meet with the one that I think is the right choice. Logs. Let's go through the monster village logs first. So, witches around the world. So, we've got 2 pieces of witch info from the village logs. Cool. Let's see. Apple Seller, Witch of Ruin, discovered in Korea in 2000 something. So, this was really recent. Yeah, the Korean president was impeached and a new government was established. So, I don't read all of it, but from the conclusion of all this is that a new Korean president was put into place. Because of this witch. The tragic witch hunts. So, nothing what you would call outstanding. Because I was hoping for some more clues over to the right here. There's that there. If you want to read it in your own time, you can just pause the video and go from there. I'll read... Oh gosh, that doesn't even fit all of the page. Stuff like that. I'll look for it in its own dedicated video. See there, fellow fans of the occult, and nothing there. Okay, so we've got only one more thing about the witch. Let's see. Police officially declared the death a homicide. Her body had been pierced. Okay, so is that a means of... Oh, that's going to be the way of killing, isn't it? So, okay. So, pierces the summoner's body. Okay, so that's one more clue to help us out there when it comes to you. Then we've got 2 new pieces of the Succubus one. So, okay, fear and terror. Cool. So we know it's a monster of fear. There's definitely at least 2 monsters of fear, and the other one was the fog spirit. And then here we've got Samant. Speak Samant. So, I think if we find out the location first, then we can get the idea that the Succubus definitely did commit. Undead records. So, here we have... The victims acted as if deceived. Monster type? Yeah, because it's Diaries 1. But a monster of deception. Okay, so we've got 2 different monsters of deception now. Fog Spirit. One taste scented that the village would be a fair distance away and pick things up. Mentioned to be abandoned school. Location school. So let's look at these cases so far. So the Fog Spirit is not the one here. Very interesting. It's not the one here. Vampire, we don't know what monster type that is. Succubus is a monster of fear, and also the Fog Spirit is a monster of fear. Deception. Speaks old language. Doesn't say what language. School. Village school. That doesn't add up. Because the monster typing is different. Ancient language matches up kind of with old language, but not deception. But then, what the hell? Brutalized the summoner's body? This one's brutalized though. What about this? That's also brutalized. And that's by the river. So that's definitely not Fox Spirit. Cross that one off. Like, the location itself speaks volume. Lake. This one was by the river, not the lake. So I'm taking too long. I should just get back to the video itself. But I'm still thinking. That's definitely not the Fox Spirit. And definitely not Undead, because this is a monster deception, whereas this case is revolving fear. That's deception. So we can cross off... We can cross off Undead here. Yeah, I think any of these kind of things really goes a long way. Rejects Auroch's way. Okay, let's get back to the game itself. So, Hannah is currently red. Escape. I don't think we can visit her again. Like, the gauge is full, so it doesn't make any sense if we try to visit her again. Let's see how our business lady is getting on. Okay, I should go see Rin. I arrive at the lake. I wonder if she'll really be here. But before I can finish that thought, I already see her standing there. Does she like the lake for some reason? Who knows? Asking back myself that question, I approach her. Hello. Remember what happened last time?
어머, 상준 씨.
Yeah? It's Jun-san.
미안해요. 헷갈렸네요.
Of course one does. Rin's reaction upon seeing me is an unexpected one. Exactly. We expected her to chastise us with questions. Despite our last meeting having ended quite awkwardly, she doesn't look angry at all. Instead displaying a relaxed attitude, with her big eyes seemingly smiling at me. I had prepared myself for a big verbal showdown, which makes me feel quite embarrassed as I stand next to her. You are here at the lake quite often. Is there something in particular that draws you here?
특별히 볼 일은 없어요.
You just like how everything looks the same out here.
호수를 이렇게 오래 바라보는 건 처음인데 잔잔하니 마음에 들어서요.
You have a certain calmness to a lake which doesn't have any wind on it.
생각 정리하는데 딱 좋네요.
Yep, clearly think. I see. Though I guess solving your problems in particular requires more than clear thoughts.
그러게나 말이에요. 몸으로 뛰어줄 사람이 있으면 일이 훨씬 쉬울 텐데.
And you mentioned that last time about having someone by your side would make this whole deal
그분께선
easier.
쓸데없이 자존심만 세우고 계시니 원.
What, so that you're the only one with pride? For goodness sakes, Rin. I'm not that easy to catch out.
아, 방금 건 농담이에요. 화내지 말아요.
Rin smiles at me with a triumphant expression on her face. I'm sick of responding to this teasing stuff. I stare at Rin with a downright angry expression on my face. But regardless of that, she continues talking to me, calm and relaxed.
준성 씨랑 헤어지고 나서 제 나름대로 조사를 해봤어요.
You did your own research.
큰 그림만큼은 직접 발로 뛰어야 그리기 쉽거든요.
Well, that's how you find out more about said themes when you do a hands-on approach to this sort of thing. There's only so much that the internet tells you. You have to face it head on.
그런 것까지 게을리할 만큼 저 그렇게 개념 없지 않아요?
Yes and no. You conducted an investigation all on your own?
네. 마을 사람들을 다그쳐서 정보 좀 캐봤죠.
And what did you find out, Rin-che? Yeah, what she says is making my heart pound loudly. The villagers, this girl, she met with the demon worshippers on her own. In person? What the hell has she done? And what kind of information?
어이쿠, 이제야 표정이 좀 볼만해지시네.
And somehow you're just so visibly calm, Rin.
궁금하신가 봐요?
Yes and no. Her making fun of me while giggling really makes me want to slap some sense into her. If Rin-che is actually human, she has stirred up an hornet's nest, I'll say in earnest, hornet's nest by approaching the villagers. Her inquiries will only arouse suspicion. So if the villagers intend to keep an eye on Rin from now on, it's obvious I'll be the one who has to deal with the aftermath. The villagers. What exactly did you say to them?
그런 서민들에겐 강경한 태도가 잘 먹히죠.
Well, thanks to...
매너 좋게 대해줘봤자 자기들의 처지도 모르고 기어오르거든요.
Again, yes and no. Being too severe makes you more intimidating rather than hoping to get something out of it that will benefit both the person which you're looking to question and yourself as the questioner.
당신들이 뭘 하는지 알고는 있는지 책임자가 누구인지 이런 식으로 하면 당신들이 어떻게 될지는 아는지에 대해서 따져 물었죠.
And then,
말해줄 수 없대요. 자기들에게 허락된 일이 아니라나.
they didn't spill the beans, or you don't want to spill the beans.
아무래도 책임자가 입을 단단히 봉해둔 모양이죠.
It's the devil himself, after all.
하긴 저런 시골 서민들이 보통 수다스러워야지.
But these ones are not.
그 책임자란 사람이 그거 하나만큼은 정말 잘한 거예요.
Yep, don't want to disrupt the ritual, do we now? So maybe... Yes? I quickly shut my mouth. The thoughts inside my head are so absurd that they almost popped out of my mouth all on their own.
하지만 말이죠. 뭐가 중요한 건지 정도는 알아야 하지 않겠어요?
No, I'm not making heads or tails about the situation whatsoever.
이런 식으로 불법 점거해봤자 자기들에게 무슨 이득이 있는데요?
Illegal occupation.
멍청한 놈들이 아무것도 모르고 저렇게 행동하면 정말 피곤해지는데. 레킹볼 맛을 한 번 더 봐야 정신 차리려나 진짜.
You don't call country bumpkins brain dead, you know. It's like calling you rich city people all arrogant and all on your high horses just because you have this amount of money and that amount of experience, stuff like that. Yeah, try getting a wrecking ball into this place. Rin sure likes to talk a lot when she's angry. It's quite annoying having to listen to her childish tirade, exactly, but I stopped myself from saying anything, fearing that it would only draw her monologue out even further.
하여간 상황이 이래요.
Current situation here or current situation with you?
그래서 말인데 준성 씨가 마을 사람들의 목적과 책임자를 조사해 주셨으면 해요.
We already know the person who's in charge, but we're not going to exactly say that to Rin, are we? You want me to investigate?
직업이 피드라고 하셨죠? 서민들은 TV가 자기 편이라고 생각하거든요.
There's no TV signal out here.
아마 할 말 못할 말 술술 불 거예요. 제 일에 협조를 해주신다고 하셨으니 그 정도는
I
해주시겠죠?
never said I would cooperate with you. We agreed that I would at least think about it, Rin. I'll think about it for a moment. In conclusion, Rin Che doesn't really know anything about this village. If I'm being misled by Rin, there's really nothing I can do until the 9th day. Not without throwing a wrench in my plans. Is there some way for me to take the initiative here? I look at Rin. She's clearly a person that won't budge, whether faced with threats or talked to with reason. I'll share the scary experiences I've been through. We don't want to get on anything's bad side. I say anything because this could definitely be undead. So therefore they're a fiend and not a person. But we could be misjudgmental if the 4 out of 5 people or potential people does not apply to this one. She is the 5th one that is the anomaly. Be kind. Alright, another approach might work. This may work better for someone like Rin. Hey Rin, do you happen to know a show called Mystery Tracking?
미스테리 추적이요?
Well, let's explain that to her. Looks like she's never heard of it. Which is only normal considering the fact that I just made that name up. It's a pretty popular show on cable. I happen to be the show's program director.
제목을 들어보니 뭐 오컬트 같은 거라도 추적하시나 봐요?
Mystery Tracking. It's all about mysteries, but not just the occult. Well, it may sound pathetic to someone like you, but there are people really into that, and we have to give them what they want. Your audience, after all.
하긴 그것도 그러네요.
Yeah, you have to give what your audience wants, and that is this land back, quote unquote. Anyway, I came here with the intention to cover a secret religious cult.
비밀 종교? 그런 게 실제로 있긴 한가요?
Oh, all sorts of secrets exist in the world, Rin. And that's why it's called a secret, because it is yet to be uncovered. Well, I thought it was merely an urban legend too. That is, until I found out more.
한 거 같다?
It's a possibility. I mean, I deliberately lowered my voice and so whispered to her, I found a dead body nearby.
시체를요?
Yes. Yes. I was shocked and wanted to call the police immediately, but since calls don't work...
시체라니... 세상에...
I am very relieved to have met someone like you. I wouldn't have known what to do all on my own, stuck here alone.
아, 뭐 그렇죠.
Don't think we can trust Red still.
아무래도 일반인은 경험이 부족하니까.
Oh dear, Rin. For goodness sake, you're such a lost soul. Rin tries to put on a tough smile, a bluff that fails miserably. I can see the redness hue increase on her face by at least 50%. Honestly, I hate this. Having to be nice and faking it is hard when faced with someone as cold-hearted as her, exactly. But then she goes back to her cold-hearted self. She seems to be at her wit's end. Is she actually scared now? Nah, she's still looking at the lake. It's a little unexpected, truth be told. I wanted to persuade her, but this is not the reaction I was going for. This is actually fantastic. She definitely won't be wandering around the village anymore.
그럼 준성 씨는 어쩌실 생각이세요?
I will continue to do what I need to do. And that is, of course, not on your need-to-know basis. I'll do some research, find out more about the village. Well, that's a nicer way of putting it than what I would say. Actually, I wouldn't even say that. Please be careful. I think they're all in this together.
좋은 생각이네요.
Yep, they all have this kind of synapse link with all of them.
그래요.
Hive mind sort of thing.
주소는 준성 씨에게 맡길게요.
You're helping as well, Rin. Right, I'll start right away. Can't afford to waste precious time or energy. Try to keep a low profile as best you can. Stay out of sight.
그건 제가 알아서 해요. 쓸데없는 참견 마세요.
Okay. This seems to have struck a nerve, but I don't think I need to continue this conversation. Rin is scared enough already. Was she faking her scaredness? No need to make her more upset. Okay then, take care of yourself. I turn around and walk away from the lake. I look back and my eyes meet Rin's. Filled with anxiety, she just stands there and can't stop staring at me. Why? Alright, that's enough for now. I make my way to my next destination with hasty steps. What did Rin see in you that you didn't see in yourself at that particular point in time? Game progression saved. And now it is night time. Having finished everything on my schedule, I return to my room. The sun's already setting. The 6th day is over. And alas, whew, I take off my coat, and throw it in a corner. Then rotate my neck a little to loosen it up. Ow, the loud cracking of my bones echoes deep within my ears. I'm beat. I walk into a bathroom, have a shower, then go to bed. It feels like my tense, tired body loosens up a little under the hot water. Time to figure out everything for a moment. If I'm getting out of here once the 9th day begins, that means I only have 2 full days left. Only 2 days, huh? Time sure goes by fast around here. I wonder if I'm doing well, all things considered. I talk to myself a little under the shower, then grab a towel to dry myself. I think the way to go through this game is don't focus on one person, which is what I've been doing, but kind of go and see each of them like one by one, and as you collect evidence, you can whittle down who the possible human being could be. Because I don't think that Sumi is the human, and in her ghost-like form, definitely not, but it's whether or not that earthbound form of hers is of that of human or of that of a witch. Every single fibre of my body is begging me for some well-deserved rest. Tomorrow's going to be a busy day. I should make sure to recover properly. I close my eyes and relax my body as I go into my dreamland. Slowly but surely. And then... Okay, no nightmares? Okay. No disciples or demons or devils waking me up. October 31st. It is the Halloween day today. Halloween time. 2 days until the selection. And my phone goes off. Let's see. Morning. Muster myself as I reach for my phone. Let's see. 2 days until the selection. And what about a murder? As if directly asking the person who sent the text. Nothing? I wait for a while with my phone in hand, but there are no further messages. Looks like there's no victim today. Whew. I give a relieved sigh. It wouldn't be on the day of selection, so I would think it would be on the one day until the selection sort of thing. The less I feel like I should be like... Right, the less I feel like I should be this relieved. Okay. I have investigated 3 murder scenes so far. The last one is necessary to reveal the identities of the monsters. I have 2 days left. Fear and disgust are no longer valid excuses for avoiding the murder scene. But no matter what, I can't do anything if there's no actual crime scene for me to go to. Looks like the last murder is bound to happen tomorrow. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I have to use today to gather meaningful evidence and ensure that what I have so far is correct. Okay, same schedule and procedure as before. Business as usual. I rise myself up. Time to make the most of this day. Hell yeah. I think we should be given more navigation points. So we can cover more areas. Or at least cover 2 full areas. Right. Found a good route back and forth. Fastest way to cross the village. Nobody believes that I know anything. Might as well leave the town confident with my head held high. Hands are tingling with nervous anticipation. Not too much longer now, but I haven't quite solved this puzzle yet. In order to complete this puzzle successfully, I have to establish enough trust with a real human. I have to narrow down who could be the real human. I'm not sure yet, but there are definitely people that come to mind. Which one of them is human? Which one should I build trust with? Walk slowly. A face pops up in my mind. Okay, I should meet that person first. Who could that person be? It may not be Sumi. Conclusions. We've got no 4th thing yet, so we can't really do anything with that. The thing is, the 3rd case is just so leaning towards the witch. Animal sacrifice. If we can find out that the kind of animal sacrifice going on is a piglet, then it's definitely, it is definitely without a question or shadow of doubt the... Who can summon it? Oh, summoned with dolls. Number 4 is already solved. Ceremony, summoned with dolls. But that's dolls there. Pierce. Location. If we can find out the location, then it's definitely her. So if we find volume 6, then it's definitely, definitely the witch. Who do I fancy seeing today? Rin, frightened as well. Exorcisms, diary, again, circ, ghosts, I'll help escape. Do not want to help one like that to escape. Nari, let's see what you are up to in the forest in which you go to. Okay, I should go see Nari. I arrive in the forest. The fog still hangs in the air, making it feel really eerie and unpleasant. I can't really understand why Nari chooses to come here regularly. Then again, it's not like there's any nicer alternative around here. Yep, everything is just so bleak and bland and dark and horrifying. It's like, which one of these spots is the least disgusting, rather than which one of these spots is the most enticing. I walk through the woods for a while and manage to find Nari. I pass a couple of trees and then see one that looks familiar. Its roots are strangely twisted compared to the other trees, making it quite memorable. Lovely, a distinctive looking tree. Nari sits on a rock next to the tree, writing something in her notebook. Her pen stops moving. She looks around and appears to be deep in thought, then continues writing. She looks so immersed in what she is doing that I don't want to disturb her. Instead, I just stand there and watch her. Because that's not a creepy thing to do. Though I do my best to keep my distance, Nari spots me. Hello?
미안.
What do you mean you're sorry?
훔쳐보는 거 방해해서.
Shouldn't it be the other way round? Shouldn't you be disturbed by us rather than you apologizing to us? I didn't mean to interfere with your secret peeping. Huh? There's nothing to be sorry about. Hey, wait, no, it's not like that. Okay, we know that Nari likes to make a joke.
농담이야.
I had already noticed this previously, but I just can't get used to her weird sense of humor exactly. It's like she catches us at first and then spills the beans at the very end. Well, in this case, immediately after. I sit down near her, already nervously sweating again from her joke. I'm only noticing it now, but Nari's notebook is gone. She must have put it away during the confusion her joke caused.
우리 준성이 당황하니까 얼굴이 새빨개지네.
Nope, not embarrassed whatsoever. It's just your joke, that's all. No, I'm not. It's just my blood pressure or something. I want to say serious, but I have to chuckle. Nari and I both giggle a little and look at each other.
간식 먹을래?
It depends on what kind of snack it is, but I love a snack. Oh yeah, that sounds good. What do you have? I swear, there's insects. Now I feel guilty. He's like a gingerbread man, but instead he's a doggy. How dare you? Animal-shaped cookies. I don't want to. It looks delicious, but I don't want to eat something that looks like that. I take a bite out of one of the cookies. It's actually quite delicious, but what it won't cost is a Pyrrhic victory. It's a perfect blend of butter and sugar that melts in my mouth, and it takes a lot more luxurious than the sweets from convenience stores. I savor the taste without saying a word. I tell Nari how delicious this is. I wonder if Nari can't actually taste it. There's a 4. What if Nari can't taste it? Like, maybe she can only taste meat. Sort of like a cat, but in this case a succubus. Wow, this is awesome. It looks and tastes like something lovingly homemade.
내가 만들었어.
Ah, baker. Really? These are fantastic. Are you a baker?
그냥 취미야.
A hobby of yours. Well, that's amazing. I bet people love it when you make things like this for them.
그래? 남동생이 이 과자 좋아해서
Okay.
자주 만들었거든.
You like it. I mean, your younger brother likes it a
그러다
lot.
보니
Well, now it suddenly turns quiet. This sudden shift towards a much darker mood feels really bad. Feels like something happened to the younger brother, which you don't want to talk about. Maybe I should change the subject. Well,
준성이 넌 하는 일은 잘 돼가?
slowly but surely.
살인 사건 취재할 거라며 범인은 찾은 거야?
No. Oh yeah, that one. Come to think of it, that's a story I told Nari. For a moment I'm confused at having to remember my own lie. Well, not yet.
아직까진?
All the breadcrumbs I get lead to nowhere. It's not that easy. The whole case itself is kind of unique.
일반적인 살인 사건이 아니란 거네.
No, it is an occultic reasoning why these murders took place. 4 of them, but the 4th one just hasn't happened yet. While I have reason to believe it's religiously motivated, or at the very most religiously connected. You know, the type of crime only fanatics could commit.
뉴스 트레이스에서도 그런 거 몇 번 나왔지.
You seen that on News Trace? Yes, exactly. Like that notorious case in Shinchan.
정말 천상 언론인이네.
Only the best. Oh, well, yeah, as far back as I can remember, so this job has always been my dream.
꿈?
Ever since I was a wee little one. Did I make it sound too cliche? Maybe.
무슨 일이라도 있었던 거야?
What's all this about suddenly? A desk. Well, I pause and think for a moment. I'm reluctant to share something so deeply personal with someone I've only met recently. For some reason, I really want to tell her more and confide in her. I'm going to, in this case, change the topic. That's the story. Why? Back in elementary school, there was a classmate that I was friends with who got bullied. Despite wanting to tell a different story, I'm already telling her everything before even realizing it. Okay, we can talk about whatever. I always felt like I had to protect him, but I was powerless and couldn't do anything. I think it's one of the reasons why I didn't trust adults.
그래서
But we just skipped a lot of the story. I want to be in a position where I could really help people who are having a hard time on their own. I want to be able to help others. What a childish, vague dream that is. It's not childish whatsoever. If your dream is to help others, then that is a dream in itself. It is a fulfillment for both yourself and the person that you're helping out. I've been committed to my dream ever since. And hey, look at me, came this far already, yeah! Stuck in a dimension removed from reality, for goodness sakes. I get a little embarrassed and scratch my head. I didn't expect myself to tell the story to a stranger. Nari quietly stares at me. I wonder what the matter is. I can sense a faint sadness behind her eyes. For a while, we both don't say anything.
그래서 이번 사건에선 뭐 찾아낸 건 있어?
Yes and no. A little, yeah, but all I can do is guess. Guess who the murderer is. I stopped talking about my investigation and what I've found so far, only to an appropriate degree, of course. For obvious reasons, I choose to leave out demons, monsters, and satanic rituals. Nari quietly listens to everything I have to say exactly. Sometimes she asks for confirmation on something, but she never interrupts me. The way she carries herself automatically makes me more talkative than usual. I'm so engaged and immersed in this conversation, I barely notice I'm the one doing most of the talking. And she's asleep, for goodness sakes. Why did you have to do that, for goodness sakes? I look at Nai, who had simply stopped talking at some point. Are we really that boring? Nari is asleep. I didn't even notice. I don't quite know how to react. Just moments ago she was talking to me. Now she's fast asleep all of a sudden. Not a normal behaviour to do, but then again there are people out there that are like, they're awake one moment and then the next moment they just fall asleep. I forgot what the condition is called, but it's something like that. Nari? Maybe she was tired and exhausted from the start. Maybe me having told her about the murder case previously caused her to have trouble sleeping. She didn't seem bothered by it when I told her, but maybe that was an act. Being alone at night may have been too much for her. I get a feeling that talking about the murder case like that may have been a rash and reckless decision. I would feel bad waking her up now. Instead, I just sit still and watch her peacefully sleep. She has a kind, beautiful face and looks young despite being older than me, even without any makeup on. Okay. She's actually really cute despite being a mature woman already. Not only does she have a beautiful face, but also an equally... Okay. Pause right there. Oh, forgive me. Catching myself staring, I am overcome with deep shame and quickly avert my gaze. Staring at someone who's sleeping is despicable behaviour. Exactly! Do not do that! I look off into the distance. Nothing could ever make me like this fog-covered cold place. I do, however, appreciate the peace and quiet prevalent in a winter forest like this. The only thing I hear is Nari's calm breathing. Sitting here, I'm starting to think that all of this, everything I'm going through, feels like a strange dream. The only thing I hear is Nari's calm breathing. It makes me feel tired as well. I fend off the drowsiness by rubbing my half-closed eyes. Just being close to her really puts me at ease and rids me of all the tension and anxiousness. It's all a trap. Sitting here puts me at risk of falling asleep as well, so maybe I should go for a little walk. Exactly. Force yourself to stay awake. With the thought in mind, I stand up. Time for a little stroll. And, yes, much better. Walking around makes me feel awake again. Nara's tiredness is really contagious. I'm actually a little envious of her. I wish I could just shut out the cruel world around me and peacefully fall asleep on the spot. Anyway, I should probably head back to Nari now. Huh? I freeze upon suddenly hearing footsteps off in the distance. Someone's over there. Crap, they're coming right towards me. I run to a tall tree that's nearby and hide. It's one of them. Oh, it's the villagers. The villagers walking this way stop and start talking about something. I can't really hear them well. I need to get closer, but then they could hear me as well. They don't seem to have noticed anything yet. I could try moving closer, I think. Move closer. I want to make sure I hear what they're talking about. I carefully approach them with cautious steps. I stay low and make sure to listen carefully. Stay low. Stay frosty. Damn, I'm really tired. How come? Not like your lazy ass does anything. Very funny. I don't know what's wrong. It's like simply staying in this place is exhausting. You've got it easy. There are harder jobs around here, like managing the motel. Oh, you think the motel owner has a hard time? The motel, I have to say, I don't like the current owner. What's wrong with you? What if someone hears you? Come on. I don't know anybody that likes him. I know you understand what I mean. Well, it's not like we can pinpoint a name to these particular middle-aged men. Okay. So what is BD? It's a hex value of a color. Enough. Keep your voice down. Are you stupid? Didn't you hear the rumors? Supposedly he was sent by Satan himself. Satan? Are you serious? Yes. He got sent here for the resurrection ritual. No way. What is someone like that working at a motel? Who told you that anyway? Huh? My neighbor Dasik told me. What the hell, man? Dasik of all people, seriously? Get your facts straight. You really think Satan's representative here is a fat slob working at a motel? As I said in previous episodes of this Let's Play, looks can be deceiving. Whatever, I'm just telling you to watch what you say. Come on, let's move. The two men walk away. All I wanted was some fresh air, but I've ended up hearing an unsettling theory. Anyway, I have to get back. Nari? Maybe Nari's not even there anymore. Oh, Nari's still asleep. I decided to sit down next to her and just wait for a while. About 5 minutes pass. Nari? At long last, Nari opens her eyes. I look at her, acting like everything's perfectly fine. Hello? Hello? Hi. I assume she now realized that she had fallen asleep, as her face suddenly becomes flushed red. She looks embarrassed and even a little angry, a surprisingly intense emotion for someone like Nari. Don't fall for one of her jokes again, man. Is falling asleep really that big of a deal for her? You my.
미안. 잠깐 잠들었네.
Yeah, a second is definitely what you've done. Were you that tired? Yeah, exactly.
조금 잠을
You
못
couldn't
자서.
sleep. But you did definitely sound asleep. Nara's response is a little jumbled. She must have been really exhausted to fall asleep like that. I stand up. I'm heading back to the motel now. Let me walk you there.
아니, 괜찮아.
What do you mean it's fine? There's a murder around these parts. I can tell you must be really tired. You should get some good rest at the motel.
그래,
Exactly.
그러자.
The journalist, after all, is always right. And that's the most false thing I've ever said. The mood somehow changes. I start walking a little ahead of Nari and none of us say anything. All the way to the motel, Nari quietly accompanies me. What's with the quietness, then? We arrive in front of Nari's room. I step back a little so that there's enough space for her to move past me, raising up my arms in an exaggerated manner and guiding her through the door. That's not my usual style, usually my style, but this time I just felt like doing it.
매너 좋네.
Not according to my exes, and I've not had any.
고마워. 바래다줘서. 취재 조심해.
Thank you. Of course, get some good rest now. If you don't, I'll be very cross. After watching Nari enter her room, I stay outside in the hallway for a while to think about everything. I'm quickly getting to know her better. The personal bond between us is growing stronger. The chemistry is becoming stronger. The trust gauge is going up. If things keep moving at this pace, I shouldn't have any trouble convincing Nari to accompany me once it's time to escape, provided she's human, of course. A strange sense of anxiety lingers in the back of my head. But maybe it's just because I'm not used to things actually going well around here. I'm satisfied with how everything turned out with Nari today. Time to head to my next destination. Indeed. Whew. That is good. There's still some time left. Who should I visit? Aha! Secrets? Question mark? No, the vampire. Let's see how you're doing, my purple-haired friend. Yes. Okay, I should go see Mina. As I make my way towards Mina's room, my steps feel heavier than they usually do for some reason. She is definitely hiding something from me. Yep. It may turn out to be something that's no big deal in the grand scheme of things. I like toy cars! It's my biggest secret. For example, maybe she stole valuables from the very same home she ran away from. Maybe she got into a heated argument because her parents caught her doing drugs. Maybe she's a sleeper agent sent here to overthrow the government. Maybe she and Rin are friends in some way. Okay, I guess my imagination is a little out there, and my definition of no big deal is somewhat twisted. Yeah, it definitely is. Still, all of that sounds harmless when compared to the idea that a minion of the devil is disguised as a human and actively trying to deceive me. The sheer ridiculousness makes me chuckle while standing in front of Mina's room. I don't believe in aliens, ghosts, or anything like that, so why the hell am I seriously considering this? Thinking to myself that this may very well just be a silly dream. I reach out to knock on Mina's door. It is indeed the program director here. Yes, it's me. Hello.
들어오세요.
Are you okay? Seeing Mina carefully open the door, I feel even more out of touch with reality. The scared, vulnerable high school student stands in the doorway. I feel stupid about my previous thoughts. I look at Mina for a moment and then enter her room. The very second I'm inside, Mina firmly closes the door. She's still extremely vigilant and on high alert. That's understandable. If what she told me last time is really true, that's a horrible experience for a young girl like her to go through. Yeah, the head bashing part, definitely. Suddenly I recall something I thought of recently. There is a high probability that these villagers are the missing persons I've been looking for. The fact that these missing people, seemingly fine on the outside, would terrorize such a young girl is truly shocking. How are you holding up? Feeling a little better? A little is better than none. Little baby steps are better than no steps. She doesn't look like she's feeling any better after all. I try to lighten the mood a little. So, what's up? What do you usually do? I imagine it can get pretty boring all alone.
저 그냥
You just what?
독서요. 책 읽어요.
Reading what kind of book? Reading? Okay, I see. I nod. Like how I'd already found out last time, Mina is a terrible liar. I don't even know why she'd be lying about something as irrelevant as this. But I know for sure she hasn't actually been reading. Is it because she doesn't trust me yet? Or is there some other reason? Pondering a possible reason, I decided to change the topic. But what is there that we could possibly talk about? I decided to take a look around her room. Futon. I can make something underneath her blanket that catches my attention. A very familiar silhouette. The shape of a coffin. Oh. Red alert there. I'm not talking about the game. But it looks too small for her to sleep in. There's no mistaking it, that's definitely a small coffin. I can even catch a glimpse of a cross engraved on it. Why is there a thing such as a miniature coffin model in her room? Yep, Mina Hine, vampire. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those were his words. Feeling creeped out, I slowly turned my head back towards Mina. Hi. I could barely contain a scream. What? What's this thing doing here? And why is she looking at us like that?
뭐 보세요?
What am I looking at? Oh, me? Nothing. I'm just impressed with how organized and clean your room is. Mina looks over my shoulder directly at the coffin. My gaze also shifts in its direction. The coffin-shaped silhouette sticks out like a sore thumb. Damn it! If you want to hide something, at least hide it properly! What do you mean, crap? No way. Does that mean Mina is... What is that? It takes a lot of courage, but I managed to speak up and ask the $1,000,000 question.
잘 모르겠...
Oh, so you're lying again, it would seem. Mina approaches the blanket as if finally admitting defeat. Takes out the small coffin and returns to me. Neoceo. Yep, that's actually a coffin, alright. That's a coffin, isn't it? Mina doesn't answer my question. Instead of answering me, Mina sets the coffin down on the floor. And it looks like it has buttons and a switch in it. What? What is that?
이건 그러니까...
Is this some kind of television? Oh, it's a game! Oh, Dracula's Castle.
게임기예요.
You got us good, Mina. For goodness sake, you got us in the first half, I'm not gonna lie. So what's within the gap there? Maybe I was going to say the controller, but that's already there. I barely register what Mina is saying. I'm overwhelmed with fear, because my eyes are glued to the console, which has, unarguably, the strangest shape for a console I've ever seen. The crazy, upbeat music echoing throughout Mina's room only makes it even harder for my brain to process. A gaming console? Dracula's Castle.
네.
Is this how you spend your free time in here and become the #1 player of Dracula's Castle because there's only one game in this motel?
게임이 돌아가는 기계라는 뜻인데...
Good, but there's a charging station. No. I'm not saying that I don't know what that is. I raised my hand and stopped talking for a moment, still assessing the situation. So, there's no other way to say this. I saw a gaming console and was scared to death by it. Really now? The conclusion is so utterly ridiculous I'm at a loss for words. Maybe I was just too nervous from the get-go. Quite possibly too nervous from the get-go. I'm feeling more embarrassed by the second and awkwardly scratch the back of my head. I look at Mina operating the console. Looks like a pretty old game. I don't have much time for it these days, but I've been a gamer for quite a while now. And considering the gorgeous graphics of today's games, exactly, this one must have come out at least a decade ago. Well, it says 1995 on it, for goodness sakes. Yeah, that sounds about right. It reminds me of the games I used to play at the arcade way back. That's amazing. I didn't know there were consoles of such a unique shape. One way of putting it. I look at a console and accidentally brush against the joystick. I hear a familiar sound effect that sounds like a whip cracking. Handling the stick and seeing the game in front of me conjures up pleasant memories of my youth. After school, I would always run to the arcade, burning through quarters like there's no tomorrow. When it comes to games, I've played them all, but my favourite is always one called Raccoon Warriors. I've got to think for a second. There was a way to choose a hidden character in that game with raccoons. Up, down, left, right. Entering the code feels almost second nature to me. Of course nothing happens. After all, this is a totally different game, exactly with different coding. I stare at the unchanged screen for a while, laughing wholeheartedly. This feels like a trip back to my childhood.
슈퍼 너구리 2?
Super Raccoon 2. What about it?
방금 그거
So you know that game as well?
슈퍼 너구리 2에서 골드 너구리 고르는 커맨드
I think so.
아니에요?
Huh? What? Was a game actually called Super Raccoon 2? What a revelation after nearly 20 years. Everyone in my neighborhood simply called it Raccoon Warriors.
네, 맞아요. 골드 너구리 고르면 모든 너구리가 쓰는 기술 다 쓸 수 있었잖아요.
So Mina is a gamer as well. My world is turned upside down, so he's actually called Golden Raccoon in its canon. Was simply called Raccoon. We simply called him Raccoon King back then. No way! How does a girl know the game? A game so old even I have trouble remembering it. Maybe she has retro gaming knowledge. As I think about this new mystery I have to solve, she's approaching closer to me. Mina approaches me with small steps, with a big smile on her face. She looks like a grown-up because of her height, but the way her eyes shine with an instant glow reminds me of those of a child on Christmas
이
Eve.
게임이 슈퍼 너구리 2와 같은 개발사에서 만든 거긴 해요.
Aha.
하지만 커맨드를 그대로 살리진 않았어요. 애초에 히든 캐릭터도 없고요.
Well, it's best to give it a try nonetheless. You may never know. Mina speaks at an incredibly fast pace and smiles she operates a console. I don't really know how to process all of this. This side of her is the polar opposite of the fragile and shy previous one I've witnessed. Ah. Obviously, it's better for her to be happy than to be scared. I think that goes to show for everyone, actually. Better to be happy than be scared. Better to be joyful than paranoid. This is all a bit sudden, but I decided to simply sit back and listen carefully. Mina is finally opening up and sharing what's on her mind. I take in the atmosphere in the room. The game's running now. A small pixelated character wakes up in a cabin. The world around the character is covered in darkness. Perplexed by what's going on, the character soon sets out on an adventure armed with a sword. This opening is really similar to the one of Super Raccoon 2.
오프닝이 슈퍼 너구리 2랑 비슷하죠?
Again, super close and front up. Yeah, that's right. So Mina, I gotta ask, how do you even know about that game? I remember playing it like 20 years ago.
워낙 명작이라서 모르는 게 이상하죠.
You are definitely a gamer at heart, aren't you, Mina? I'm liking you already.
게임과 RPG를 접목시킨 독특한 게임인걸요?
History as well of it. Wow. So the game is really that famous, huh?
개발사가 슈퍼 너구리 2 이후 장르 변경을 꾀했다가 전부 호평받고 이 작품에서 다시 고전 횡스크롤류로 돌아갔거든요. 그래서 슈퍼 너구리 2의 자체 오마주가 많아요. 그래픽이나 음악도 일부러 고전풍이 나도록 만든 거죠. 그래서 오해하는 사람들도 많지만 그리 오래된 게임은 아니에요. 감성 자체는 올드하지만 인터페이스의 구조가 습관됐잖아요. 고전 팬들에게 추억거리로만 어필하지
Somebody talk about their
문제가 있는
favorite
거죠.
hobbies and going on and on about it. It's cool. It's really cool. Not just the fact that it's a game which I like as well, like gaming as a genre itself, but also about the fact of somebody being really passionate about something.
정말 대단한 게임이지 않아요?
Or to the charm. Yeah, that's totally, I agree. Find myself unable to find an actual answer, I just keep nodding.
그뿐이 아니에요. 이 게임 개발자가 누구냐면요.
I've never seen anyone get so hyped about something before. Either way, this is a great opportunity to learn more about her. What should I ask her? Ask Mina about her gaming console. The console, it looks really unique.
네, 그렇죠. 3,000대 한정으로 나온 한정판이에요.
Wow, only 3,000 of those. Wow, sounds like it's really expensive, especially as time goes on, because it goes from 3,000 to whatever number there would be now.
그럼요. 제가 이거 가지고 싶어서 얼마나
You're so desperate to get it. But, oh, could this be a catalyst towards you running away from home?
하여간 그게 중요한 게 아니라요.
What's that all about? Her attitude changed there all of a sudden.
직접 해보실래요?
Thank you.
여기 버튼을 누르면 공격이고요. 이건 아이템 창 여는 거고.
Okay, I reach out and grab the console. And she takes a layer off. Mina flails her arms around and it nearly hits me. Her enthusiasm is infectious if a little scary, exactly. After a short explanation of the controls, I start playing the game under Mina's guidance. It's been ages since I've last done this. I glance over Mina's direction while awkwardly twisting my fingers. She looks delighted and amused. This is the happiest I've ever seen her so far. This is the happiest I've seen anybody in this village so far, for goodness sakes. Might as well enjoy this moment and make the best of it. Indeed, and hopefully not be leashed by her vampirism. Mina and I sit there and enjoy some good old-fashioned gaming. I move around and maneuver the level with Mina giving me advice on what to do from the side. Oh my, I completely lost track of time. What an immersive experience. So much time has passed without me even realizing it. From having a sense of dread from Mina to now this. It feels nice. This feels nice. It's great to escape the cruel hardships of reality for once. But I can't forget about the fact that every second is precious given my situation.
가셔야 돼요?
Yes, unfortunately.
아직 바람의 부츠도 못 구하셨는데.
Winged boots. That allows me to have a second jump if I imagine so. Mina sounds really disappointed, and I can also sense some fear in her voice. My protective instincts kick in, which makes it really hard for me to walk away. I know. I died so much I couldn't even get to the first boss. Back then, I used to be one of the best players in the neighborhood at the arcade. Can you believe that?
바람의 부츠 구하면 진짜 재밌어지는데.
But I can't give a winged boots if I can't pass from the first boss. Okay, we'll get them together next time. Mina still looks stubbornly disappointed, and I can't help but extensively pat her head before getting up. Mina gets up as well and walks me to the door. She's almost as tall as me. It startles me for a second since her appearance otherwise so childlike, and we've been sitting down all this time. She really is pretty tall.
저 또 오실 거죠?
I will be back. Absolutely, as soon as I find anything, I'll come back right away. I don't think villagers are going to try anything funny right now, so you can just try to get some rest, alright?
네.
Feeling proud of her staying so courageous. I reach for her head again. Mina bends her knees, intent on making it easier for me to pat her head. I can't but laugh while patting her head. Okay, now go get some rest. I've gotta go now.
네. 몸 조심하세요.
Mina is not a pet, by the way. Oh, don't worry. I say goodbye to Mina and leave. I feel a little guilty now. But, of course, I turn around and see Mina standing in the doorway, refusing to close the door until I'm completely out of sight. I wave my hand to signal her to go back inside, but she keeps watching me until the last possible moment. Fine, I'll turn around the corner then. I'll be the one that's defeated. She must be incredibly scared of being left alone. What a delicate one. Nevertheless, I still don't know much about her. Starting with the actual reason of her being here, so she seems to trust me. Yet she still won't tell me. I think some more about Mina for a moment, then head for my next destination. Your next destination, you say? After finishing my morning routine, I head to the restaurant. Here we are again. While eating my meal, I take a look around the restaurant. I can feel the villagers' cold gaze. To them, I am an important offering, a sacrifice needed to complete this ritual. They will only be satisfied if I die. It's only natural for them to watch me closely. I'll be in trouble if I get caught doing anything suspicious and ruin it all for them. My eyes meet theirs and they quickly turn their heads away. They think I'm completely in the dark and being deceived. Well, little do they know. That's perfect. It's just the cover I need. Play dumb, act smart. I leave the restaurant after finishing my lunch. I'm pretty sure I've only got one navigation point left. I can see the people leaving the restaurant with me heading to their homes. It's 1 o'clock. My time to move around without worrying about being seen. Time to explore as per usual. You, over there! Me? What are you doing? I'm so surprised I can barely contain a scream. A villager appears to be standing right behind me. What's the matter? The motel owner asked me to tell you something. The motel owner? What is it? The curfew is to end at 3 o'clock. It will no longer last until the evening. I see. Bye-bye, then. The villager finally walks away. Gosh. So the curfew has cancelled her. The curfew is what allowed me to move freely from 1 o'clock until the evening. Without it, I will no longer be able to investigate uninterrupted. If the villagers catch me moving about suspiciously, it might ruin my whole plan. If it ends at 3 o'clock, damn, that's not long at all. I don't have time. This is my last chance to explore the village. I walk with hasty steps. Okay, so this is why we only have one more opportunity. Oh dear. We're going to investigate the North House. I always think go north first, then south. From up to down. But not situationally. I go to the abandoned house north of the lake. It's the remnants left of a deserted house north of the lake. There are signs of people coming and going. Seems like nobody has been here for a long time until recently. What could they have left behind? I decide to investigate. In one way though, it is best for that villager to say to you that the curfew ends at 3 PM or the curfew is not there after all. Because it means that you are in the know now of being able to not investigate around the village anymore, which is a bit of a disappointment for us because we want to find out more about what's going on throughout this village by deciding to research within the places of suspicion. What can we get around these parts? Book. I'll pick up a book. This isn't a regular book, is it? Let's see, it's a notebook. Quite a thick one, actually. Weird musings and prayers are scribbled in it. Just as I'm about to set it aside, thinking it's nothing noteworthy. One particular page catches my attention. What's this? It seems to be the bishop's teachings to the congregation of believers. This could be quite interesting potentially. I should keep it. Okay, yes, keep looking around. Oh, hello. Look at the eerie scenery lake shrouded in fog. Thanks to the thick veil of fog, the lake exudes a strange feeling of calm. This isn't the time to get caught up in useless sentiments. I can admire nature's beauty once I'm safe. I step away while scratching the back of my head. A jar. A porcelain jar, sorry. I wonder if there's something here. I look around the jar and find something in the back of it. Let's see, that is, I extend my arm and reach for the object. Nearly there. Got it! It's a book! It's about the Undead. Oh, it's number 6, location. Okay. It's titled Undead Survey Diaries, Volume 6. These are the writings of a novelist who conducted research regarding the Undead. Undead with the help of his diaries. I see. Help me understand the identifying characteristics of the Undead. Important evidence. Put it in my bag. Anything else around these parts? Right, the floor. I search through piles of paper scattered on the floor. It doesn't take long before a thin magazine catches my eye. Another Maxine magazine. An occult magazine with easily understandable content. I don't know if it will be helpful though, but I take it with me just in case if it proves to be helpful. Should I keep looking around? Absolutely. Another eye. There's a bucket rolling around on the floor. I look inside it just to make sure that there's nothing in it. Great, guess there's that. I shrug and take a couple steps back to investigate the other things around it. So it looks like it's only these two things left. If I'm... Oh, hello, door. It's locked. It doesn't make sense for an abandoned desolate building to be locked so tightly. I pace around near the door for a while, then step back. Time to look elsewhere, exactly. I'm glad we investigated that. The paper box catches my attention. What have we got here? Look inside, said paper box. About the vampire. Vampire investigation records. Collection of records kept by a genuine vampire hunter. I doubt the villagers kept this here, just for some casual reading. I put the book in my bag. It appears to be an important piece of evidence. Yes, we should keep looking around. Open the box carefully. Littered with all sorts of junk. None of it seems like it would be helpful. Hold on a sec. Succubus. Succubi. Could be an interesting read for research purposes only. I don't know how much I can gather from it, but I should take it with me. Exactly. Oh, there's more to it. Right, more to this. More to this, more to this, more to this. What could it be? What could it be? What else is there to look around? Huh. Now I'm not sure what else there could be. Oh, this book. Several books are scattered in a disorderly fashion. Rummage through the said several books. Compilation of a bunch of bizarre self-help texts. The work of an emotional fanatic. Nothing there. Right, I've done everything. Looked around some more, but I couldn't find anything else. I should get back. That's all for now. Village records updated. So what we've gathered here is what we have in our totality for our first Let's Play of this game. First playthrough. I took too long, I should go before the villagers find out. Exactly. Great. I took a look at what I've gathered so far on my phone. 2 pieces of monster information as well as 3 village logs. I should give this a careful read. Indeed we should. Right. Having searched around, I returned to Hope Hill Village. Villagers are out and about wandering the streets. That's never been the case at this hour before. The motel owner must have told me the truth. There's no longer a curfew in place I could use to safely search around. Hello.
응? 이렇게 빨리 웬일이시오?
What do you mean, what's the hurry?
평소엔 저녁 때까지 어디서 뭘 하다가 오셨잖소?
Thank you. And what's your story, motel owner? Does he think this is funny? I'm absolutely certain that he knows a lot more, and he's not planning on telling me any of it. Is he playing dumb with me? Ignore it. I move past motel owner and head to my room without answering.
그 사람 냉랭하기는.
My bed. Well, it's not like I'm the one who's connected to the devil in some way. I ignore motel owner's mocking grunts. Indeed. I'm back in my room. Right, afternoon encounter. Now is usually the time to search around. However, it's dangerous to act right now. If I wander around and arouse suspicion, it's all over. Damn it. I took another look at all the evidence I gathered so far. Fortunately, there's a lot of useful evidence here. Maybe even enough to help me uncover the real human's true identity. In that case, maybe I should focus on that instead of doing anything that could make people suspicious of me. For example, I could meet the one who is likely to be the real human in order to establish a perfect level of trust. Good. That's that. I'll stand up again. Since there's quite a bit of time, I think I should be able to meet with 2 of them. First, I should meet the one that comes to mind right now. Gamer. Let's see, notebook. Village logs. Bishop's. We've only got 2 of the bishop's speeches. Okay. That's good. Monsters. The world's greatest poet. Like, this is information about them, but doesn't tell us anything about the monsters themselves. Succubi terminology disputes. Another one. Maxime magazine. Revenge. Like, there's going to be background detail of a lot of these things. Like the lore of the game and the monsters themselves, but they're not as specific, but quite generalized details. Monster information. Only got 1 for Undead, for goodness sakes. Right. School, okay. So location was school. River. Oh, school river, not village school or village river? But the one by the river was fear. Yeah, that's fear. The undead was deception. Which would be that. But that's not there. Whew. Okay. I'm starting to think that Rin is the human here. In some regards. In some regards. Fox spirit is fear, which matches up with these two things. Old language, some aren't. Probably is an old language. Ancient language, some aren't. Brutalizes. That's also brutalized, but that's also school, so it can't be her. We've found out next to list of no information about the vampire. I think most things I found out about vampire is basically within village logs. What do I say conclusions? But wait, I've seen Rin twice though. Maybe I selected Ron somewheres. That's definitely a possibility because I've seen both. I've seen Rin twice and Hannah once, but yet Hannah has the same trust level as Rin. Like, I'm not being silly here, am I? Like, Rin, we've seen 3 times. Or seen twice on our own accords. And we've seen these 2 3 times. But yet our trust in her is not as good. So it must mean I selected something wrong in one of the searches with Rin. So you could say that this is going to be bad for us. Very bad. Right, we can meet 2 people today, and we can meet 2 people tomorrow in the game. Let's do this. Hannah. Okay, I should go see Hannah. While walking through the abandoned village, I think about how things currently are with Hannah. Hannah and I ultimately share the same goal. Find out what's behind the disappearances as well as his religion. With a shared common goal, establishing trust shouldn't be too difficult. However, Hannah isn't telling me everything and is clearly keeping some things to herself, which is natural. It could be a simple case of her not trusting me enough yet, but maybe there just isn't more information available currently. Ooh. Then there's also a possibility that she's merely disguising herself as a real human, obscuring her true form.
무슨 생각해요?
Yes. Anyways, how do we even get here? Jesus Christ!
뭘
Jeez!
그렇게 놀래요?
Did you just crash into us? Hannah casts an incredulous glance at me. Hannah casts... Oh, I've already done that. And starts looking for something in her bag. I stare at Hannah while holding my heaving chest. Come on. She can clearly see what state she's put me in. Would it kill her to say a simple, "Are you okay?"
뭔가 정보는 좀 얻었어요?
Cold-hearted as always. No, nothing at all. I did actually find out quite a few things, but I don't feel comfortable mentioning them. Honestly, it's hard to figure out the right approach for gathering information. We agreed to investigate Hope Hill Village, but we never decided on a clear direction. For example, how about the connection between what you're doing and the disappearance case I'm working on? I can tell she's a little puzzled by my statement. I only had to mention the word disappearance and her interest immediately sparked. Maybe we have something in common that she hasn't told me about yet.
공통점 말이죠.
Definitely similarities.
안 그래도 그 얘기를 하려고 했는데
Eventually, you say?
이거 좀 봐주시겠어요?
What exactly is that? It looks like a journal of sorts. Or a notebook. Notebook, thank you, Flare. That Hannah hands me. It's a fairly worn notebook with a lot of stains on it.
제가 이번 조사를 위해 작성한 사건 일지예요.
Okay. Like a case log?
네, 제가 조사한 모든 게 그 안에 있어요.
Hannah appears to have made up her mind. Her hesitancy from our last meeting is gone, and she's decided to share everything. So you finally warmed up to me?
네?
You mean what, Hannah? You mean what? Hannah blushed a little upon hearing my playful remark. Maybe she really hadn't realized how obvious her distrust had been previously. I smirk a little and open the notebook. Let's see. It could even just be like a fake notebook as well, like she just put this information here and she's just made up as she went along. Alright, here's a summary of what Hannah's notes contain. Hannah's father, named Tachyon Seihi, ran a sushi restaurant with Sang-hyun Kwan, who is his best friend and a former middle school classmate. August 8th. Right before their day off, the two get into an argument. According to Tachyon, it's merely a small fight about some work-related stuff. August 9th. With the restaurant closed for the day, Hannah's father, Tachyon, spends the whole day at home. And then, August 10th, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, Tachyon is woken up by the sound of a phone ringing. The phone call is from Shan-hyun's wife. According to her, Shan-hyun still hasn't come home yet. Tachyon, concerned about his friend's disappearance, goes looking for him. He even keeps the restaurant closed. However, Shan-hyun is nowhere to be found, and the disappearance gets treated as a missing persons case. 1 month later, September 11th, which is a horrible day to say the least, Hannah's father, Tachyon, after a break, reopens the sushi restaurant. A regular who happens to be a news reporter finds out about Shin-hyun's disappearance while inquiring about the temporary closure. Up until then, it seems the reporter had assumed the reason for the closure was simply to take time off. September 14th. The reporter, while hiking along a trail he frequents, spots a shiny object a little off the beaten path. While most people would have simply overlooked it, the reporter's curiosity is piqued. An eagle eye of these things. It's a sashimi knife from Tachyon's restaurant. Wow. So someone must have broken in. Or Tachyon did it? With blood on both the blade as well as the ground around it. Okay. From that point on, everything changes rapidly. The reporter deems the case as more than just a disappearance and reports everything to the police. Upon evidence analysis, the knife is found to be Tachyon's. But my question is that does the handle of the knife contain Tachyon's DNA on it? And the blood on it is Shan-hyun's. On top of that, only their fingerprints are found on the knife. This is what happened next. The reporter then starts to focus on the fact that the two men had an argument the day before Shan-hyun's disappearance. He focuses explicitly on Tachyon's activities around that time. The reporter's digging shows that Hannah's father does not have an alibi for the day in question. That he even has a past criminal record. This doesn't look good. He finds out that Tachyon has actually been sentenced in the past for murder. The reporter makes headlines with these findings, causing the public's opinion to become biased, and the police, pressured by all this, are forced to treat it as a potential murder case. The reporter then keeps making multiple follow-up reports. His reports, however, are all unwarranted suspicions and provocative slander about the suspect, Tachyon. In the end, the public is all but convinced Tachyon is a culprit, and he is brought to a detention center as the main suspect. This reveal makes things a lot more complicated. What happened to Hannah's father, Tachyon, is a highly complex matter, and one that I actually happen to be familiar with.
제법 유명한 사건이었어요. 들어보셨겠죠, 아마.
Hannah sounds bitter and defeated. Like Hannah says, this case is actually quite famous. The names and details of those involved aren't well known to the public. For a short time, this case attracted massive attention. A person who served time for murder committing after murder, the type of drama people crave. It was covered by this very same journalist I respect, who helped me get back on my feet when nobody else would. Reporter Ho-seok Cho. Ho-seok, I heard about the case. You really managed to snag a big one with that. It's insane. It's the #1 story on every search engine. Don't you want to celebrate that? I think it's the nature of the actual case itself as to why he's not celebrating. Despite my energetic excitement, Ho-seok responded with the same neutral expression as always. Well, thank you, but This is just the beginning, you know. I remembered how jealous I was. I'm a reporter just like Hosiek, chasing that one big story, and although I congratulated him and always admired his tenacity, I never stopped thinking, what if I had been a regular at that sushi place? What if I had been the one to cover that case? I never asked myself that quite a lot, sorry. It's true I envied him. I was jealous. Jealous of the report that has made Hannah's father an outcast. Hannah, you're 100% convinced on your father's innocence?
가족이기 때문에 덮어놓고 믿냐고 말하고 싶은 거라면 그만둬요.
You think this is something to do with this village, then?
난 아버지의 알리바이를 믿을 수밖에 없어요.
But your father never had an alibi.
같이 있었으니까.
You was with him, but can you prove that? I kept my mouth shut and don't say anything, out of admiration for Hosiek Cho. I keep pronouncing his name differently, and each time it is not correct. I want to believe in his scoop. I want to protect his legacy, but Hannah's conviction is a lot stronger than I could have ever assumed.
권상현 아저씨가 실종되던 그날
Yep.
전 모처럼 아버지와 함께 집에만 있었어요.
Okay.
아버지는 집에 계실 땐 거의 주무시기만 하세요.
But you can't keep an eye on him at every waking moment, you know.
가끔 깨서 물을 드시거나 식사를 하시는 것 정도죠.
Did at any point he go out longer than usual?
하지만 오히려 그게 문제가 됐어요. 집에서 뭘 했는지 하다못해 TV를 봤다면 어떤 내용이 기억나는지 대답하질 못하셨고.
Exactly, because you say something but you have no concrete story about it.
정리하자면 아버지가 집에 있었다는 걸 증명할 수 있는 건 저의 일방적인 증언뿐이었다는 거죠.
Usually when it comes to testimonies, there has to be some kind of balance. Like, if it's only one-sided, then it's like it's convincing rather than providing an actual story. Hannah is Tachyon's daughter, direct family. Granted, not all family testimonies are outright ignored, but there is an incredibly strict focus on clear evidence and rationality in these cases. Hannah's testimonies seem to have become unconvincing. I see. So you do believe he's innocent, or rather, you actually know he is.
그래서 권상현 아저씨의 실종 사건을 파헤치기 시작한 거죠. 애초에 살해당하신 게 아니라면 아버지는 자연스레 무죄가 되니까.
How are you going to get out of this village once you got the
주변
evidence?
조사를 먼저 시작했어요.
And?
평소 권상현 아저씨의 행적, 행동 패턴, 특이점 등을 중점으로 조사했죠.
That's rather difficult to do, considering you have your own life to fulfill.
그러다 보니 주목할 만한 정황들을 발견했고.
Unusual circumstances.
다음 장 넘겨보세요.
Next page. I'll stop thinking about Hosiek Cho for now and instead focus on the actual case itself exactly. Curious and armed with new insight into this case, I turn to the notebook's next page. Unlike the previous well-organized entries, everything from here on seems to be scribbled notes and findings without a clear structure.
보기 어렵죠? 설명드리자면
A week before disappearing, he insisted on wearing all white clothes. This isn't difficult for me at all. All these key words stick out like a sore thumb to me. Everything resembles the case I'm chasing. He would be away on a regular basis every 2 months, and has been acting strange. Has he ever mentioned anything about bathing?
목욕은 잘 모르겠네요.
That's probably something he's been highly concerned about. And I can't find a detailed description of the blood. The amount found at the time must have been quite small, right?
맞아요.
I lift my head and look at Hannah, whose tone of voice has changed. She's looking at me with a surprised face. I wonder why. Because of a bathing story? I tilt my head and look, and I little and turn back to the notebook again. What's this part?
어디 봐요. 아, 그건 권상현 아저씨가 직접 그린 지도를 옮겨
A
그린 거예요.
map drawn by Shen Hyun
이
himself?
부근의 지도죠. 여기 표시된 곳 보이죠?
How did he get in here then?
거길 입구로 해서 여기에 들어올 수 있었어요.
Okay, I see. I need to sort all my thoughts for a moment. The disappearance of Tachyon's friend, Sun Huan, shares an awful lot of similarities with a missing persons case I'm investigating. So much so that it's pretty much the same actually. Regularly leaving, strange behaviour, an obsession with bathing and wearing white clothes, and a tendency of self-harm before disappearing. I can only conclude that Shan Hyun's disappearance is a piece of a puzzle of the case I'm working on.
아까 혈흔에 대해 물어보시던데
Yep.
준성 씨가 쫓던 사건 패턴에 혈흔도 있었나 보죠?
You could say that. Hannah's voice coming from right next to me pulls me out of my thoughts and back to reality. Actually, she's getting a little too close for my liking. Yes, yeah. There were signs of self-harm.
자해였단 말이죠.
Yeah. Hannah looks troubled and lost in thought. Maybe because her father was labelled a murderer based on traces that actually stem from self-harm. I'll wait for her to process all this new information.
준성 씨와 같이 그 현장을 발견했을 때부터 보통 실종 사건은 아니라고 생각했는데
Yeah, something that's not quite right. Right.
어쩌면 제 생각보다
You can't call it really simple. A mass disappearance.
말도 안 되는 사건일지도 모르겠네요.
Got any guesses? You mentioned something about Shenyang and a strange religion.
눈에 띄는 분은 아니셨어요. 오히려 평범하셨죠.
An ordinary guy.
이상한 사이비 종교를 믿고 있었다는 건 실종된
Wow.
뒤에 알게 된 사실이에요.
Only after he went missing. That's really odd.
우선은 이곳에 준성 씨가 조사했던 실종자들이 실제로 있는지부터 알아봐야겠어요. 혹시 실종자들 얼굴 기억해요?
You want to compare them to the villagers around here? That is a possibility of going down. But do we even photographically remember all of the missing cases if we don't have a physical copy of the report with us? That's going to be, let's say, difficult. You've wandered around Hope Hill Village yourself. Pretty much everyone here walks around like they're high as a kite, right?
확실히 그랬죠.
They're hard to recognize. I don't even recognize my own family members in such a disheveled state.
뭔가 방법이 없을까요?
Another way. I'll think about it for a moment. Once again, I'll make the connection to my own case. Recall the various things that the missing people have in common. Recall the religious groups often gather in towns like this. Various things that missing people have in common. All the missing people were acting strange before they disappeared. If we could find out what's behind that, maybe it can help us figure out what's going on.
흰 옷을 즐겨 입고 혈흔을 남긴 그 패턴 말이죠. 하지만 그걸로 뭘 알 수 있을까요?
Think about it. I cross my arms and throw my head back and forth. There has to be a method behind these seemingly random things. I can't find an answer right away. I concentrate even harder. There's got to be something. There simply has to be. Well,
우선 실종자 명단을 보면서 다시 검토해보는 건 어떨까요?
maybe we have to look at it from another angle. Why the list?
그 명단을 보다 보면 미처 발견 못한 공통점이 나올지도.
That's a good point, actually. Oh my god, you're right!
깜짝이야.
I have to shout it out.
저기 무슨...
Members of that religious cult gather here at Hope Hill Village. They've got to keep membership records around here. No matter how small, every religious institution keeps lists.
아,
Hannah looks surprised. I honestly feel a little flattered.
그럼 그 명단을 찾으면...
Yep. You can check if Shen Huan's name is on there. Shen Yan's. Hannah got all excited for a second. But is now back to her old composed self again.
그럼 방향은 정해진 것 같네요.
Indeed, it has been
전
decided.
마을 외곽 쪽의 건물들을 조사할게요. 준성 씨는 마을 내부 쪽부터 조사해주세요.
The outskirts seem a lot safer than the inside of a village. Alright, let's do it that way. Want to meet back here once we're both done with that?
그러죠.
As Hannah speaks, she moves closer towards me and extends a hand. I stare at her hand with a blank expression for a while, unsure if she's going for a shake, but I awkwardly start holding her hand. It feels cold, but her hand is petite and delicate.
노트 달라고요.
Ah, that's what your hand was for. Oh, yeah, you're right, here. Realizing the awkward air of my gentlemanly ways, I hurriedly pull my hand away and give her the notes.
긴장 풀어주려고 이래요?
What do you mean try and lighten up the mood a little? You're the one who electrocuted us from the very start. Sorry?
해본 말이에요. 그럼
Could you give us some context as to how we could lighten up the from your perspective? Hannah gets up and walks away right after asking her enigmatic question. I keep looking back at her as she leaves, and after I can no longer see her, I sit down on a nearby shore. I sit there thinking about Hannah's story. Hannah says she's here to clear her father's name, and I can't help but think of Hosik Cho, who's played a critical role in putting the blame on Hannah's father. I always think that the missing persons case that gave me back my drive and journalistic eagerness has a deep connection to what Hannah is investigating. Any respect I had for Hosik Cho in the past is crumbling away. I feel a deep sense of disgust towards myself. I have so many questions about what transpired. There are so many pieces of info here that need arranging. Dozens of thoughts and theories overlap, and I'm starting to feel dizzy. I shake my head to rid myself of this onslaught of information, one step at a time. Gotta work on this piece by piece, Mumbling to myself, I walk away from the abandoned village. Devil worship, religious cults, missing persons. This place has all the ingredients for the world's most massive migraine. Game progress saved again. Let's see, who should we talk to next? Well, I think we visited all of these characters at least twice, and Rin has released trust in us. Actually, everyone, look at this now. Nari has slightly more trust in us than Mina does. Like, if you look at that bar, that's slightly bigger than that one. That one's obviously filled up. That one's... We've seen each of the characters at least twice outside of the introductions of the actual game itself. So thank you so much for watching, guys. We will be back on Novena Diabolos in the next time. Who do you think in this particular playthrough is the human? I don't think Sumi Choi, by the evidence on the third case, gives us the fact that Sumi Choi is innocent. I think she definitely was the culprit of that one. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and see you all in the next time of Novena Diabolos. Have a lovely day and take care of yourselves.